Now, maintaining a long-term marriage requires open communication, understanding, mutual respect, and of course, continuous efforts from both parties. It's crucial to listen to each other, show appreciation, work through the challenges together, building a strong foundation of trust, understanding, and shared values can help sustain a lasting and fulfilling relationship. Remember, it's normal to face ups and downs, which is normal in a relationship or marriage, but with patience, empathy, and willingness to grow together, a long-term marriage is achievable. Welcome to Inside Today. I am Jumai Manson. Today on the program, we're looking at sustainability of a long-term marriage. I am being joined by Mrs. Mary Madu Haman. She is the MD CEO Bundi Shell Bola Nigeria Limited. She is the former president of Vista Nigeria. She is the president of Bura Women Association International. She is a board of trustee member, Association of Nigerian Women Business Network, BOT Southern Borno Stakeholders Forum. Do not go anywhere. The program continues shortly. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Inside Today, and it's an amazing time here. I am so happy to be here. I am being joined by, like I mentioned from the preamble, a very beautiful personality, no other person than Mrs. Mary Madu Haman. She will be here and she'll be telling us on what it contains to sustain the sustainability of marriage. And now, of course, Mrs. Mary Madu Haman, good afternoon. It's great to have you on the program.
Great to have you too.
And telling us about sustainability of marriage. Is it possible to sustain a long-term marriage?
It's possible. There's nothing that is not possible unless you did not work on it. If you work on it, I know my parents were married for over 70 years. And I see no reason why mine will not work. And then you have to be intentional about it. In the beginning, you have to show that you want to be married. Not like you just want to go in and test it and come out of it. So from the instant when I fell in love with my husband at a very early age, I knew he's going to be my husband, and I want to be his wife, and I will want to have my children with him, not to be running around and testing the way other people do. So since I was intentional, I know I gave him the whole of my youth, and I cannot waste it for nothing. If I'm with you when I was still bright and my eyes were still white, and then my skin is succulent, and now that I'm old, you want to move on, or I will want to move elsewhere, I don't think it will be a good contract from the beginning. But I know we are going to be together, and from the marriage, since from the church, it was announced that till death do us part. So whatever you come across, you've made that vow to God and to your husband and to yourself also. Because you have to be truthful to yourself before you get into any contract. And I always tell them, I'm not going anywhere. Anybody that is not happy with me will be the one to move. Because I am not moving. And if you know I'm here to stay, the other party would definitely want to work on it, because there's no getting away from me, because I'm here to stay.
Definitely.
Yes, I'm here to stay.
I want to ask a very vital question. Now, back in the day compared to where we are now, a lot of individuals who are married are not as patient as you are or how our mothers were. Any slight thing, the men are always too quick. They're easily provoked. That's why we see a lot of violence in the home front. What are the key issues in sustaining a long-term marriage?
First of all, you have to present the marriage to God, commit it to God, and commit to serving God. And as we did, we handed over everything to God. Because in marriage, there are so many things that can make you not want to be married any longer. The issue of having children, the issue of money, and so many things. But you can see there are some marriages that are childless and they are still together because of the commitment and what they promise everybody, that that's what they want to do and that's what they are going to stick to it. And if you present it to God and you are committed in the service of God, it will be difficult for you to want to play double standard in what you are doing, because what you present to the church cannot be too different from what is obtainable in the house. Because like me, from the beginning, I've been a committed member of either the choir or the women fellowship, because when I got married, I was just 24, and I was taken away to Lagos from my far away southern Borno, and we had nobody. And then there's nobody you fight with and go and report to that this is what has happened.
True.
You can't run away. You don't even know anywhere. Because I was in my final year from the University of Maiduguri when I got married. I wasn't yet graduated. Yes, I wasn't a graduate. I got married when I was still in school, because he had graduated and was working with BCCI in Lagos, a bank, some of those ancient banks, and he wasn't feeling secured, leaving me alone in Maiduguri without tying the knots, and you know, the school environment, and then we were still shining and all this there. So we got married briefly after his NYC.
Wow.
Yes, we got married with no kobo. And then you cannot tell me I married you because of your money.
Money, exactly.
Yes. And then we know what we were looking for was the friendship. We were friends since childhood, before the university days. And then when, you know, it's your friend. If he doesn't have, you feel you don't have as well.
Very true.
You go out to look for it, he goes out to look for it. And it's like we build it together. And I was in the women fellowship. When I reached Lagos, I met one of my secondary school teacher who was posted to Lagos as the pastor of our church there. And he was looking for people from southern part of Borno, because it's a dominant southern part of Borno church, Church of the Brethren, EYN. So he was like, I know you can do it. You can mobilize the women, and then we want to form women fellowship. I've never been into any women fellowship group. I'm just a new bride in Lagos, and you are coming to tell me I should
form a women
fellowship. And the church, we are still looking for members that will come and all that. It was very challenging, but he was on to me that I know you. I know what you can do. I know your father. He has been in the ministry. He has been this. You know, that kind of push that. And my husband is a shy type of person. He's not the type of person that would like publicity. And then for us to go to church and they will ask me to start the chorus or to do this, and he will, sometimes I will mess up and all that, and he will be doing his head down that what is this woman doing?
But I want to ask Mrs.
Yes,
Mary.
yes,
Now, different backgrounds, different personalities.
yes,
You are the outspoken type.
yes,
Your husband is the shy, quiet type.
yes.
How were you able to balance it without offending him to
Yes.
last this long and longer by the grace of God?
It's the love that he has for me, because some of the nonsense I would do, I would like.
So you agree?
Yeah. And then he will be quiet. I will look at him, he won't say anything. So if I look at you and you didn't say anything, it means approval. So
Really?
I will go ahead, and then sometimes I will, he doesn't express. I want to tell you that for the 40 years, nobody has come to separate fight from here.
Really?
I've never run home to my people, even though I've threatened that I can go, and then
No way.
if you are threatening and nobody is responding to your threats, it's like you are making an empty threat.
I want to ask another question. Being married for 40 years and many more years.
Amen.
Now, this question I'm going to ask you. People say, if you do not, sometimes it is better to invite a third party to settle issues. How were you able to balance that? You said you never involved family members. But how do you settle the issue? Because they say marriage is not a bed of roses.
Yes.
Conflicts will come. So how were you able to overcome that hurdle in the marriage?
You keep quiet, because when he's hot, you try and listen and keep quiet, and then when the heat is not high, you can discuss the issue. But you said this, I cannot believe you can say this, you did this and all that, you did this, you made me do this, and then then you've understood yourselves, and then you don't want people to know what is happening
Or interfere?
No, apart from that, we started very young, and people were waiting for it to break,
Oh.
and then you don't want to satisfy them, so you have to work on it and keep it within. Like, he's too young, we are almost age mates. He was born in March of our birthday, and I was born in November. So you can see we are almost age mates.
Yes, you are.
And they said, as a woman, you develop faster than the man.
Very true.
Yes. So I understand, and I did not want to go home and tell my people I don't want it again, because nobody will answer me. And he has been a quiet one. His people won't even know what is happening because he is not talking.
But now some people will say for a long-lasting marriage,
Yes.
the man must always allow the woman have her way. Have you always had your way?
We had a couples. Day before yesterday, we had couples match at the golf, IBB golf tournament, and then we were celebrated for our 40th anniversary. There was another couple that was celebrated for 41 years. So they asked them, you that have been married for so long, how did you work it? How did you endure the thing? And then my husband suddenly said, she's always right. You have to,
Exactly.
yeah, you have to make her feel she's always right if you want peace. So I looked at him and said, is that so? So it means I am always right, or he's just allowing me.
Exactly.
It's not like I was right.
Very true.
So it gave me a thought that probably when he say yes, yes all the time, it could probably not
just
be
for you to have your
to
way.
have my way. But he confessed it.
Then you're always right. Now, for people out there who do not know how to balance it, like you got married really young, and I know that it wasn't easy being in school, trying to play that role of a student and then a wife, and at the same, of course, you have children along that line. How were you able to balance this whole thing of ensuring that your home is intact, school is intact, everything is intact, family pressure, every other thing. How were you able to balance it all?
Well, I was in school just for 1 year after the marriage.
Oh.
So I was in Maiduguri while he was in Lagos.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's holiday time, there's nobody's in the house. We just got married, and it was sweet at that time.
Definitely.
I graduated. I joined him in Lagos. It was youth NYC days, and there's not much to be done in the house because he goes to work in Broad Street while we were living in Okota.
Okay.
Yes. And I was teaching in Echo Girls High School, which wasn't far from my house. So there's no housework. It's just me and me in the house. He comes back in the evening. And by the time he comes back, food will be ready, obviously. And there was not much I was doing as a teacher in the Echo Girls High School because we close on time. So I have enough time to prepare dinner. And at times he comes late because he was a banker, and then the traffic and the whatever, before he will reach Okota, it will be late. At times he come, just because I've made the food, he will eat something small. And I will say, it's fine, at least he has eaten something. And since I'm the only one around, I manage myself, whether with the leftovers or I prepare something for myself, which obviously there's nothing I prepare because I will be in school with the students and we eat something that they sell there. So by the time you come home, I'm busy preparing dinner until when we started having children. We had our first daughter, that was Jumai, 1987, and she was a beautiful girl. We now discovered she was a sickler when she was about 3 months old. But we didn't know the effects. We didn't know what, we've not encountered a sickler in our lives. We were young. This is our firstborn. So people, oh, you had a sickler? And that's when we started, oh, what's the problem? Because she wasn't having any symptoms or anything. Everybody, oh, she's a beautiful baby.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's what everybody says. Until when she was like 11 months, then the fever started coming and all that. So throughout, we were managing her for at least about 2 months. 2 years when I had her sister. And she wasn't an SS. She was AS. And she was strong. And but we now started thinking, since we have a sickler, and there's a probability if we have another one, it could be. But when we had my second daughter, we did not think of anything. I just found out I was pregnant, so we didn't plan anything. But after that, I will start seeing the ups and downs of a sickler and whatever. We did a bit of family planning so that we won't bring children to the world where they will come and suffer. So we were happy with our 2 daughters, and we were handling the school. Wasn't far from the house. My mother sent a house help for me. It's my niece, actually, my cousin's daughter. So it was family something. She just finished secondary school and she was looking after them. And I got a job when I was pregnant with my second daughter to work with NIPOS. And it was in Marina.
What far?
And I was living in Okota. So you can imagine.
And Mainland and island.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And we were learning the ropes. We had one car. Yes. We had a car. But he leaves very early because of the bank. So I have to struggle to come up and follow him. He drops me at Marina. He goes round to the Broad Street, and then when coming home, I have to climb the Moluwe, and then
it wasn't an easy
it
ride.
wasn't. and I was pregnant.
Oh my goodness.
And I was going for check of post office accounts because I was a postal controller. There was a time, I don't forget that instance about NIPOS. I was sent to check post office account in Ikorodu. I've never been to Ikorodu. I think maybe I went to Ikorodu when he was a youth copper. I came visiting. Then my senior brother was legal advisor to Shagari. So he was in Lagos. So I used to come to Lagos. We were not yet married, but I'll come so that I can see my husband when he was doing his youth service. So, and we went just once to Ikorodu. And I had to go and check post office account in Ikorodu, and I took the bus, the Molway.
Oh my goodness.
They took me after some place you have to walk to get to the post office. On my way back, I took another Molway. I was pregnant. It was raining. And you know, the Molways that goes to Ikorodu are not the good ones. The window was open and rain was splashing my face. I was crying, but you know, you wouldn't know I was crying because
of the rain. Oh my goodness.
So I just say, what is this? But those are the points that if you want to run away, you will run away. But now
you stayed.
You stayed. You have a daughter.
Oh my goodness.
And then you are pregnant. Who they will send you away if you try that I'm coming home. And it was like that was the experience. Now I'm able to tell you the story.
Exactly.
Yes. So it was not smooth, but we endured.
Exactly.
We endured, and we were looking at the future that it could be better. And he will grow, I will grow.
Exactly.
And then if I leave it at this point, then somebody else will enjoy it at the end of the day. So it's something that, like a project, you've started it.
Yes.
You can't chicken out.
You have to finish it.
You can't chicken out. Yeah.
For individuals who are listening at this point, you know, we have lots of divorce cases. They're not tolerant with each other. You hear this and that. For a long-lasting, sustainable marriage, like it looks as if you practically did all the work as the woman. Does it lie on the onus of the woman, or the man has a role to also play in order for a marriage to be long-lasting and sustainable? Because what you've said is teamwork.
Yeah, it's teamwork. It takes two to tango. You cannot say he has to do everything. When you are expecting him to do everything, that's when you have the problem. But I grew up with my grandmother, and she wasn't having, her husband died, and then she was a widow. You get it. And then we do everything by ourselves. Nobody gives us corn, nobody gives us anything, or nobody helps us on the farm. We go to the farm with her because my parents sent me to the village that they did not want me to grow up in Jos. You know, we are not from Jos, but my father was a retired police officer in Jos. And then he felt the tribe there is not ours and their tradition is not the same, and we could not speak our language. He preferred me to go home and stay with my grandmother. And there was a lot of freedom because nobody would tell you, don't do this, don't do this. She's old already. So I'm jumping the trees, whatever. And then we go to the farm. I take leaves to our sheep and goats. It was that crude how we were with my grandmother. Anything, if I go out, I see all these local vegetables. I pick it and bring home. Because nobody brings anything to us. It's what she brings. And then I learned how to survive on my own. And then at times we go and farm for people at that stage, yes. So that we get money to buy akara. Because they cannot be giving you money every day. She's an old woman. She's suffering. She's trying to make food for us. I was the one with her alone, and there was another lady helping her. So we knew you have to fend for yourself.
Was that the endurance that helped you stay in your
That
marriage?
was it. Because I was telling my husband, I didn't know how I survived that life. Because I didn't feel pain, I was enjoying it, and I did not lack as much. My father comes once in a while to see us. He could not be coming home all the time to see us in the village. And when he's coming, he comes with bread. Bread, there's one special bread from Jos that people look for it, and they, oh, he brought bread for us. He brought palm oil for us. You know, we don't have palm oil. When it comes, it's a foreign something. And then if we want even granite oil, we have to make it ourselves. Because we farm granite, we peel it and fry it and then blend it, and then you get the oil.
The extra, wow.
The extract, yes, we do it by ourselves. And then at times you boil rice. If I tell you how to enjoy rice, you boil rice, and then the paste, the groundnut paste, you just add it on top, and then with your salt. You don't know about stew?
Wow. Let us quickly go on a very quick break now. The program Inside Today continues, and yes, it is. We're looking at sustaining a long-lasting marriage. Stay tuned. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, well, you have missed a lot. There's been an interesting time here on the program looking at sustaining a long-lasting marriage, and I have been doing it with no other person than Mrs. Mary Manu Haman, and she has been here telling us on how to sustain a long-lasting marriage. Ma, you have said it all. You've talked about endurance, you've talked about patience, you've talked about family coming around, that's family support and all of that. Now, for some women that have this idea, and you know, in the course of your experience, you spoke about he brings and you bring, merging it together to support the home front. Now, there's this idea that some women have: his money is
ours.
His money is ours. My money is mine. What would you say about that?
I've heard about that, but I don't know about that. Because whatever comes is on the table. We have this, what are we going to do with this? We have this, it's not going to be enough. Can you make it up? Yes. I have this too. Oh, at times mine may be more than what is on the table. Because I've been very industrious, not just working. I buy and sell also. Even in the post office, before I moved to Nimasa, when I was in Nimasa, I go to Dubai and buy things. If you see me with the Lagos women, you won't differentiate us at Dubai market. You see us struggling and all that. And you buy, you sell, you have your money. And then you see anything you buy, you bring home. You will not wait that he has to bring money for this. And whatever he brings, I feel, just as I told you, I feel it's complementing what I have. I never wait for a man to bring something for me. I will do for you. And then it means you are owing me.
How will you get it back?
No, that you are owing me, because when you get, you can't keep it. You know, I've done it with all my all.
Forum. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being
Thank
part
you.
of Inside Today.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you,
with that,
Gemma.
I have to wrap it up on the program Inside Today. Thank you all so much for being a part of the program. Have an amazing day ahead. And yes, you can sustain a long-lasting marriage. It's possible. I'm saying
Bye-bye.